Welcome to Go Learning Point tutorial. So in this session we'll be discussing about how to pass comma separated values inside in operator. So when you're dealing with in operator, you know that the in operator can accept multiple values, right? A set of values that we can compare inside the source tables or column of a source table. Okay, so let's say if you have values like A, comma B, comma C, comma D. So generally what happens, we compare the values inside in operator like A and then B and then C and then D. Okay, but this particular value is coming as a single string. So let's say I'm getting those values in a variable called my string. Okay, now these values I need to compare in a table. So each comma separated values that we are getting in this particular variable my string is corresponds to a single column value, a column value of a table. Okay, so in a similar way, you need to basically change all these values, comma separate values, to a single value, so that you can pass all these values to the in operator. Okay, so the same way you need to create a kind of a procedure or kind of a query. So first of all, we'll create a query, SQL query that will accept this particular string or this particular string, and then we'll compare those values in the table column. Okay, and the second solution will create a procedure that will accept a string called my string, and then we'll compare those values in the table source column. Okay, so here I have taken example of this table, and let me show what data I have in this table. So this is what I have in this particular table. So what I'm doing in the second query, I'm comparing this particular string. So this, if you see, this is separated by comma, and we have only single double quotes for all the 1, 2, 3, 4 strings, right? And I'm comparing it inside the in operator. So if you try to execute this, let's see what results we'll get. So there are no results because it is considering this all these 4 strings as a single string. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to separate all these strings, comma separated strings, to a single string. So this will become my first string, second string, third string, and fourth string, and so on. Okay, so here I'll be using a regular expression that will actually separate all these strings to a single line. So the first string will become Ravi, and second will become Akif and Pritesh and Karan, and so on. Okay, so I have used here the regular expression, and then inside this regular expression my source string will be there. So first one would be my source string. Then what I need to search in this particular string is comma, and this could be 1 and more comma, so I have written as plus. So this is going to find 1 and more comma in this particular source string, and then I am doing one level down. Okay, so whatever I have before this comma will come to one level down. Okay, so let's just try to execute this and see what result we'll get. So if you see, all the comma separated values have become one level down. Okay, now if I can pass this particular string, this is what I need that I can pass to in operator, right? Now if I can pass this particular query result to the in operator here where I was getting no results, I can pass this particular query here, and then I can get the result, right? So let's just try to do that. I just copied all this. Okay, so whatever the result I have received from the query, I am passing it inside in operator. Okay, now let's try to execute it to get the results from the source table. Okay, say if you see, I have got the complete result from the source table, right? Similarly, if here I have passed this searchable string hard coded, right? But I don't want to I don't want to give any hard-coded values, right? So what I'm doing, I want to pass this value, the column values that I want to search from a source table. I want to pass those values at runtime. So in that way, I can create a procedure. Inside the procedure, I can pass a string, and then based on that passed string, I can compare those values with this query inside the begin end block. Okay, so how that will be done? So what I've done here, I am creating a procedure called getDetails, and inside this I'm passing a string which will accept comma separated values, right? Now inside this, in the declaration part, I have created a cursor that will actually fetch the name, department ID, and salary from employee table, where name in and the select that we have already discussed. The same select I have here, and instead of the hard-coded values, I have passed this value that I am receiving inside the procedure parameters. So whatever the value I will receive in this particular parameter, I am passing it here inside the cursor. So in this cursor, I will receive all the values, all the columns that I have selected here from employee table will be there in this particular cursor. Once we pass this particular value inside this procedure and this particular statement will get executed, then all the values will come inside this cursor C1. Then in the begin end part, what I am doing, I am just looping through this cursor and printing all the values, all the 3 columns that I have received from that cursor. Okay. Now let's just try to execute this. So I have just used a begin end block and I'm calling this particular procedure, and here I am passing those values, and let's see what result I would get. Okay, so first of all, we need to create a procedure. Okay, so this procedure is compiled. So in this procedure, what I'm doing here inside tvms output line, I'm printing employee, and whatever the employee name I'll receive from this cursor, that I have actually received whatever the input comparison I have received in this particular parameter. So this particular employee is associated with this department ID, with salary, and whatever the salary he or she is having in inside the employee table. Okay, so let's just try to execute this and see what result we'll get. So if you see, I have passed 4 values and it has printed the employee this is associated with department 40, with salary this, and same for other employees as well. Now this is something I have done using regular expression, and there is a other way I can use in string in substr through which I can serve the purpose. I can get the same set of results. Okay, so how that will be done? So instead of regular expression, I have used INSTR here, and then whatever the values I am receiving from. So this particular part, all other things, that is begin and end part is same as the previous procedure. Only the difference is I am passing this particular string and comparing this using INSTR function. Okay, so what this function will do will search, so whatever the values I have received here, the comma separated values, and then it is going to, this particular function is going to search this particular value in this particular string. Okay, so this will become my substring, and this will become my actual string that I have received inside the procedure parameter. So if this particular value is present in this string, this is going to return 1. Okay, so what I'm doing, if this result is greater than 0, then only that particular record will go to this cursor, and then that result will be displayed inside the begin end block. Okay, so let's just try to execute this, and then we will see by executing the begin end block and this procedure that we are getting the same set of result or not. So the procedure is compiled, and let's try to execute the same statement again. So I have got the same result. Employee this is associated with this department, with salary this. So this is how you can pass the comma separated values inside the in operator. So we have discussed two different ways. You can use any of them based on your requirement, but I will suggest to use the regular expression that because they are mostly, in most of the cases, they are quite faster than the in string operators, in string functions. Okay, so I'm going to paste all these things in the video description link and you can copy it from there. Thanks for watching my tutorial, and like, share and subscribe to get more updates.